Welcome to Childcare Rockstar Radio. I am your host, Chris Murray. Childcare leaders around the globe are breaking through challenges, leading the way in innovation, testing new best practices, and impacting children and families in a much more powerful and positive way than ever before. Each week, join me for interviews with early childhood leaders and experts that will leave you inspired to become the next childcare rockstar. Now, let's go. This is Childcare Rockstar Radio, episode 136, featuring Tamara Jefferson. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Chris Murray, your host, and you're in for a special treat today. I'm talking to friend and client and just an amazing soul, Miss Tamara Jefferson. She is from Michigan, hails from Detroit, and she's got 24 years of childcare experience under her belt. And I think you're just going to love meeting her and hearing her story. This episode is releasing on the very first day of our Childcare Success Summit, 11th annual, taking place in Nashville today, if you're listening to this live. And we are all together, 1,300 of us plus in Nashville, having an amazing time on the day that this is releasing, October 20th, 2022. And so hopefully you are listening to this from your hotel room here in Nashville. But if not, just know that you were missed and that we're having an incredible time. And hopefully you'll get to come to the Childcare Success Summit next year if you missed it this year. More to come about that. I want to thank our friends Kangaroo Time. They are in Nashville with us right now. And Kangaroo Time is a childcare management and parent communication platform extraordinaire. They empower deeper connections and insights both within and across your business. With a more holistic childcare management system, you'll have the visibility necessary to make more informed decisions that will increase the efficiency and effectiveness of your childcare business. From classroom automation to robust parent engagement and more, Kangaroo Time partners with you on the road to success. Now you can focus on what matters most, the kids in your care. To learn more about Kangaroo Time, visit kangarootime.com. And also, I'd like to give a shout out to today's sponsor of the podcast, Brightwheel. This episode is in part sponsored by Brightwheel, the leading software in early education, integrating everything you need to run your program. Brightwheel is excited to be giving away iPads to select centers this weekend at the Childcare Success Summit in Nashville. So be sure to stop by their booth to learn more or to learn more about how Brightwheel can save you up to 20 hours per month. Visit mybrightwheel.com. Thank you, Brightwheel. So let me tell you a little bit about Tamara and her program. Today's episode is titled A Joyful Journey in Childcare because that is the name of one of her brands, Joyful Journeys. And her schools are just an amazing experience in terms of learning innovation and really a true home away from home and the culture of her program. She has 3 locations and she has built them from the ground up in the trenches, really arming herself with all the tools and techniques as she has grown. And one of the things that I love about her program and her unique benefits that she offers parents and kids is, first of all, she loves gardens. And being a garden lover myself, she features child-centered, child-managed gardens. And also, they take some of the things that they grow in their garden and actually make food in her kitchen with them. So I love that. And they have health and wellness education. So they feature a lot of really, really cool, experiential learning, hands-on learning for all ages. And Tamara is just one of those heart-centered people that you're just going to fall in love with here on the podcast. So I'm going to let you meet her here in a minute. One of the things I want you to know is both Tamara and I share a love for fast cars. Has absolutely nothing to do with childcare, but it's a fun fact. And maybe she and I will actually meet on a official racetrack one day and actually race each other in our cars of choice, potentially Porsches or Lamborghinis or something fast. So that's kind of a cool thing. And Tamara is an Empire level member in our program in the Child Care Success Academy. And she has contributed so much already in a shorter period of time. She's got so many wins and things that she's doing. And what I really see her as an inspiration for her team. Over and above everything that she's doing for the children, I see her as an amazing leader, a heart-centered leader, and wanting to provide even financial tools to understand, to help her team members and her teachers understand how they can better their lives by having good and healthy finances and knowing things about baby steps into wealth building. And so understanding why debt is not a great thing to carry, And so a lot of these building blocks of success, she's passing forward, she's paying it forward to her team and to her staff. And I just love that so much. So I have one other friend to thank for this podcast. Speaking of finances, is Live Oak Bank. And so another very valued partner of ours here at the podcast is Live Oak Bank. They strive to help you master your business and achieve your dreams by offering loans and financial solutions nationwide for the early learning industry. They're a national lender supporting schools across the country, and with their dedication to efficiency, collaboration, and in-depth knowledge of the education industry, they'll take you where you need to go in your banking. Their team of early education financing experts fully understands the nuances of your specific business model. They want to invest in you because they know you're ready to make an impact. So let their team confidently guide you through the lending process and craft a unique plan that will help you and your business thrive. To learn more and connect with their early education team, visit liveoakbank.com/rockstar. That's liveoakbank.com/rockstar. All right, let's dive into episode 136 here at the podcast. I cannot wait for you to meet Tamara. And if you're here in Nashville right now, please come and find me and say hi to me. I'll be doing a book signing tomorrow, which is Friday the 21st, and I'll be out and about in the exhibit hall and kind of just wandering around, meeting and greeting everybody and taking pictures. So please do not hesitate. Don't be shy to come up and say hi and get a hug. And I just want to give you a heartfelt thank you for listening to this podcast. I really, really appreciate you as a listener and would love for you to share with me when we do meet that you are a listener, and tell me if you have topics and questions and things that we can answer on future episodes of this podcast, because sneak peek, we're actually taking the podcast into a slightly different, new and innovative, unique direction in 2023. So more about that to come. And I'd love to get your feedback. So you can always email me, Chris with a K at childcaresuccess.com. I still do read all my own email. And you can also review the podcast. We would love for you to rate and review. And as somebody that I listen to, Glennon Doyle's podcast, what she says is, especially if you really, really love my podcast, I would love to get your rating and your review. If you don't like it, that's okay. So I just think that that's really clever and cute, and would love to get your feedback, guys. So please do share, rate, review, and give us your feedback. Love to get your feedback via email. And please do come up and say hi to me in Nashville. And certainly we'll be out and about throughout next year, throughout 2023, and even visiting centers and diving in. I'm visiting a center in Georgia, and I'll tell you more about that story on a future episode. All right, everybody, take care and God bless. And let's dive in and meet Tamara Jefferson. Let's go. Hey, everybody, welcome on in to this episode right here at Child Care Rockstar Radio. I am Chris Murray, your host, and I am thrilled to present to you my client and friend, Tamara Jefferson. Tamara, how are you today?
I am wonderful. I'm doing really well.
Good. Tell us a little bit about you. Where are you sitting right now? Where are you from? And then we'll talk more about your school and your childcare centers.
Okay. I'm at home now.
Okay.
So we are in Michigan. Our centers are in Oak Park and Roseville, Michigan.
Okay.
Um, and that's it.
And you're sitting, what town are you in? Where's
Oh,
your home?
so I live in Bloomfield Hills,
Okay.
which is not too far from the sites, but we're a little bit further north than the centers are.
And they're within, I mean, those are suburbs of Detroit, right? For people that
That's
don't know.
right. That's right. Oak Park is literally not even a minute from the city. It's like right there. You know, Michigan's really segregated. So it's across 8 Mile. And then Roseville is on the east side of Metro Detroit. So it's east. Oak Park is more west. Oak Park is more centrally located. You have other really nice suburbs around Oak Park. It's more diverse there. Roseville is on the east side. We've been there since 2020.
Okay.
We opened our center there in 2021. So we're still getting used to the east side. But Roseville is about 45 minutes from where I live, and Oak Park is about 25 minutes.
All right. So you have two centers, and tell us more about your business in terms of the name of your schools and how you're doing with your enrollment versus capacity.
Okay, so we have three. We have two.
Three.
Yeah.
I forgot the third one. Sorry about that.
I know that's okay.
Yeah.
We have two Joyful Tots, and then we have one Ology. Ology is a school age program, so it's
Okay.
not for little little ones.
Yeah.
Still some early childhood because that goes
Yeah.
up to age 8.
Okay.
And so Joyful in Oak Park, we started the center in 2006, the commercial center, and we had a capacity for 25. Then we expanded to another suite, and we had a capacity for about 40. Then we expanded again in 2017, and we moved our capacity up to 60. And then we had an opportunity for a site, another site, which is Ology. And that was just for school age children because we wanted our graduates to kind of stay with us because we do a lot of different things at Joyful than some other centers, and we just wanted to keep our school age children keep their minds right. We do a lot of mindfulness things with our babies, and we plant-based meals, and we just do things differently. So we created the school age site. That site can only hold 30. If we install another bathroom, we can move up to 45, which we plan to do because we had a really successful summer. And then we have our third site, which is Joyful East. We call it Joyful Roseville, but it's on the east side. And we have a capacity there of 40. Our concept there, we have smaller sites. We are looking for more now. And I think I talked to you about that. We're looking to expand. But we love what we do. I've been doing this for over 24 years. I just love children. I love to see the growth in children and in their families too.
Yeah. So 24 years, that is a huge, I mean, over 2 decades in childcare, and you're almost on your 25th anniversary of being a childcare professional. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So in 2006, you started your center. So prior to that, were you just working in a center, or were you working from home, or what were you doing?
I was working at home. So
Okay.
before that, so my degree is in journalism. And so I that is my first love.
Right.
Journalism. And so I had a car accident in 1998. And in 99, I was just at home, and my friends were like, can you watch our babies? And these were older children. So I'm like, sure, I'll keep them. And at the time, I really didn't care for children, like I just didn't, I just did. And so I kept the children, and I went to the dollar store and I bought some flashcards because they were so busy. And so I was teaching them things from the flashcards. And Chris, what amazed me was how they were able to retain the information so quickly.
Right.
It was so fast. It was like I would teach them some division or multiplication problems on Monday. By Friday, they knew everything without the cards. It was just, that is when I started to really fall in love with early childhood. And so after that, I did go back into a different industry. I went into public relations and marketing. And I just had this calling. Something just kept taking me back to the children. And so we opened up an in-home childcare, like a fully licensed in-home in 2003. We had our first daughter in 2002. She's one of those babies, a 2002 graduated in 2020 baby. And
Yep.
so we had the in home, and it was going really, really well. And so my husband came home one day and said we had to go. He said, "You can go work for a center or just go find a building." And I'm like, "What? I don't know what to do. What building?" I just didn't know what to do. So I started driving around. I'm like, I gotta find a place
Yep.
close so our families can stay with us, you know. And
Yeah.
we were well over capacity. I think that's what made him say you gotta go. So I found a place, and I have a wonderful friend who was our contractor. I brought him, and he's like, "We can do this." And it was a horrible looking building. It was terrible. The ceiling was coming down. There were no walls. There were no bathrooms. It was just, there was no floor.
Wow.
I just didn't even see the vision. And so he's
Right.
like, "We can do this." And I have learned to center myself around people who have the vision, even if I don't have it, they
Right.
do. And so we knocked it out in 4 months, 4 months.
Cool. I love that story. That's a super cool story.
Yes. And then we just expanded from there. But that is how Joyful got started.
So, what brings to mind is that we have a lot of people in our launch track. So, we have a whole launch track now in the academy with people who are exactly the journey that you just described. They're in their home, their spouse or themselves are saying, "I don't want to have this all be in my home anymore. I need to
Right.
have separation."
Right.
And, or I have a vision for impacting more children. So I need to go find myself a building. And so I love what you said about centering yourself around people that have the vision if you're struggling with having it yourself. Like that's a huge writer downer for folks, especially our launch track type ladies and gentlemen, who mostly ladies, who are looking to start their first center. And they're so many times so lost because they don't have a plan. They don't have a path. They don't know where to start. They don't know where to look. They don't, so you're inspiring people through this podcast right now with that journey. It's really cool. It's really good.
Good, good. I have stories.
Well, we'll get to more of them, I'm sure. So let's talk about your family. So you're married, and tell us what you got going on at home, and more about your home life.
So I've been married for a long time. We got married in 2005. I don't even know how many years that is now, but it's a long time. Mm-hmm. And so we have a 20-year-old, we have a 16-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 5-year-old. Ooh. I know, right? So I just dropped her off in class. So she's our last baby who graduated from Joyful. Okay. And that was another reason I created Ology. It was because our children were just getting older. We needed something for the school agers, and my babies could go to Ology. So it's all wonderful. But my husband owns and operates a steam distilled water factory. And so I do help him with that too.
Okay.
I'm unpaid secretary.
You're busy.
I am busy. I know, right? So we have a lot of fun together. I am a homeschool mom at heart. Okay. I did homeschool our first daughter until she went to the 7th grade. And we homeschooled the other ones until 2020. And the only reason why I sent them to school was because I knew there weren't going to be a lot of children there. But I do miss homeschooling everybody. So our 5-year-old's the last one. We're going to homeschool her for a little while.
All right.
We are a close-knit family. We're private. I don't, as you see on Facebook, nobody even thinks that. They probably think I have children. Because I don't post any of my babies on Facebook. Right. They have Instagram on their own little pages, but
yeah, I struggle with that too, Tamara, because I do like, sharing, and I know a lot of people like when I share, but I also am pretty private. And my public persona is so social media oriented that sometimes for my own personal stuff, I kind of want to keep it to myself a little bit sometimes. So anyways.
Right. You have a beautiful family too.
Well, thank you. We both have the 2002 kids. And I don't know about you, but going through COVID, the year that they were supposed to graduate, which was just horrible because they didn't have their prom. They had we did an outside graduation in the parking lot, which is actually pretty fun because everybody was in their cars, like beeping and everything. And then we did a car parade, but it just, I feel bad for those seniors in 2020.
I
So,
know. I do too. My daughter, she's all good, but she brings up little things about I didn't have a class ring. And now you know what, when 2020 happened, we just we just kind of forgot about those things. Like, well, you don't need that. But she'll be graduating. She'll be
I know.
graduating college soon. She'll get some more rewards.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, tell us something, kind of a fun fact. So something about you that not a lot of people know.
A fun fact. Okay. Hey, I like to speed race. I like fast cars. Okay.
Really?
Yep. One day I'm gonna get on the track. I
All
don't know
right.
when, but one day soon I'm gonna get on somebody's track. I'm gonna race.
So what is your favorite fast car?
Um, all of them. Anything that's fast.
All of
Or
them.
somebody can put a fast something in it, like an engine or something to make the car go fast.
Yeah.
My father used to work at a dealership when I was a little girl. And so I
Okay.
would go to the dealership with him every day. I would sneak in the car. And by the time he got to work, he didn't realize I would be in the car and he would just keep me
Uh,
at the dealership with him.
right. That's cute.
Oh, and I'm an only child. That's a fun fact.
Okay. So you went from only child to the opposite and a mother of five.
My family's like, I can't believe you have 5 children. I'm like, I can't either.
You're like, party of seven, here we go.
Right. Exactly.
So the fast car thing, I share that with you as well, because I obviously bought my dream car recently, which was my Porsche 911.
Oh, you did buy the Porsche. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful. The blue, is it blue?
The blue.
That's
She's
beautiful.
so pretty. She's got a
Yes.
beautiful beige gray interior, and she goes real fast, so I have to be
Yes.
careful. But easily can get up to 105 like that in a hot minute. So
Yes.
it's fun.
Yes. That's nice. That's really nice. I
Yeah.
I drive a BMW, but I'm getting well, my husband wants a Corvette. So, but I'll get to
Uh-huh.
drive it, right?
Yeah. So there's fun things on the track. Like you can do a racing experience. There's tracks in Phoenix, and I think there's one in the Carolinas that you can go.
I don't
And we could
know.
like take a group of people and go drive fast on the track
Yes.
together. So we'll have to put that on the list.
Yes. For real. That sounds so much
Awesome.
fun.
So you have been a member of the Child Care Success Academy for a couple years, and you are
Yes.
now recently came into the Empire level, which is our highest level of coaching. Do
Yes.
you remember when you joined and how long you've been a member for?
Yes, I joined in May 2020.
Okay, 2020.
I remember that. Yes.
And I'm sure you do. That was a memorable time. I remember that time because during
Yes.
that time I was diving in, quadrupling our efforts to support everyone. And I was doing all these
Yes.
Facebook lives and trainings and webinars to try to help people through
I remember that.
all of the painful times and the
Mhm.
panic.
I remember that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine actually told me about you. His name is Michael Ingram. He said, have you heard of Chris Murray? And I said, no. He said, oh, she's awesome. She's from here. I was like, okay. He said, you should look her up. And I did.
Oh my
And I just couldn't
God.
believe all of the, and I said, are you a part of the academy? He said, no.
I know. I've been working on Michael for years.
I said, well, okay, I'll join. I'm going to join. He said, you're going to join? I'm like, yes. And I mean, it's been life changing in these last 2 years. It's been wonderful.
I'm
I
glad.
love the academy. There's
Yay.
nothing like the academy. I haven't found anything that can compare. I mean,
Yeah.
really, the resources are just, I mean, there's an enormous amount of resources. Anything you need, you just,
Yeah.
you know,
You just
my
ask.
time is more freed up now. It's just been
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yay, I'm so happy. That makes me so happy, Tamara. Thank you. I
Oh,
love Michael.
yes.
Michael and I are both Cleveland born and bred. So he's totally
Yes.
my homeboy. And we connected in all these different ways. And I kept being like, Michael, you should join us. Michael, you should join. And so I didn't know that you guys had the friendship before. And you know what? We have a referral program. So anybody that you refer, you get $500. So now I'm going to have to send a check for $500 to Michael,
Hey,
which is
hey.
perfectly great.
He's
And
wonderful.
he's so great. And I want to have him on the podcast too, because he's doing
Oh,
amazing things,
yes.
especially for more of the special needs children in our
That's
world. So I
right.
love that.
Yes.
So let's talk about challenges. So what has been the biggest challenge that you have overcome in your journey to getting where you are today?
I was thinking about that. You know what, Chris? Just in life, since I've been a little girl, it seems like challenges are like learning experiences. I don't look at challenges like it's a challenge, like it's because everything is, I have this plaque. I wish I was at the center, but it's on my desk. It says everything is figure outable.
Yes, that's actually a
It
book
is.
by Marie Forleo. Everything
Oh, I
is
didn't
figure
know
outable.
that.
Yes, it's
Oh
really
my
good.
goodness. I got this plaque off Etsy, but I'm like,
That's
it's so
great.
true.
I love
There
it.
is nothing, anything that you put your mind to and that you put forth action towards, and if it's for you, it's going to happen. It's,
Yeah.
there and challenges in between. I guess they're just like learning experiences. I'm trying to think of I guess the only what you could call a challenge would be when we opened our first Joyful, because that was
Mhm.
stressful. But then when I looked, I didn't even realize it had only been 4 months. When we opened, I'm like, oh my goodness, that was only 4 months. It seemed like it was 4 years. It seemed,
Right.
it was just a lot that we went through
Yeah.
with a lot of things. But so I guess
Yeah.
that
The
would be,
amount of work it takes to open your first center
yes.
is, it sometimes can seem so daunting and so insurmountable. You did it, but it can be quite exhausting for the very first time that you do it,
Very first
because
time,
yeah,
yes.
because you've got licensing, you've got fire marshal, you've got all the operational pieces,
City.
hiring, of course, enrollment, and the facility, and ordering everything, and it's a
Yes.
lot.
I'm so glad we did. I'm
Yay!
so
I'm so
glad.
glad you did too.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
how many employees do you have now?
We have 17,
Okay,
and we are looking for more. We just hired the recruiters, Bruce's company, your
cool.
company.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
we're
Grow your
excited about
center.
that.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yes. We like to create outside the box type job descriptions and positions and things like that. We are growing our leadership team. We have some great leaders. I would not have been able to expand without them.
Yeah.
I just love our team. And I guess that
Yay.
that is something else that people don't know about me, is that I don't like to be in the limelight. I just kind of stay behind. I like
Mhm.
to, push everybody else up, and promote everybody, and like for our team to be in the limelight,
Yeah.
edify them.
Yes. I mean, that's a true characteristic of servant leadership. And
That's what
that
you
is,
do. We thought about that. Your
yes.
coaches.
Yes, that's what we do
Okay.
with coaches. That's what I do with my
Yes.
team. And, I do have to be, I'm the face of the brand. So I do have to be more front and center. But
Right.
whenever possible, I'm trying to continue to just be servant leadership and lift them up. And you're a beautiful example of that.
Oh,
So
thank
I love
you.
that.
Thank you.
Transitioning perfectly, segue to example of that is you shared recently on a pod call with me and with us about doing workshops for your team and
Yeah.
helping educate them about finances, and you're doing a vision boarding, training or exercises with them, and getting them to be inspired and educated about having a better life. So talk a little bit about that, because I absolutely adore what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. So, like in January, we'll have a vision board project. We'll bring boards and magazines and all that fun stuff. But this year, we did a dream board, because a vision, you know that you're going to get there. You just have to put forth the action and go ahead and do it. Like, my vision is to the home we have now. We have beach privileges. My vision is to get a home off of the lake, which we'll do in a couple years. But my dream is to own several homes off of several lakes in different cities and states, right? So,
Wow.
we talked about dream boarding,
Uh-huh.
and the majority of our team said that their dream was to own a home for the first time. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's do some type of program around this. So now we have a home buying program that we introduced to our team in June of this year. We give up to $5,000 in closing costs and fees. And with that comes the financial literacy in owning a home. So we start off with credit repair and credit counseling and all those things, how to make sure your credit's good. Then we're going to bring in some lenders, bring in some people who offer different things around housing. So we have a program in Michigan, MISHTA, where they'll give you a down payment, a large down payment to own a home. Then we're going to take them out to see some homes, bring in the vision there, like for real, like, let's see what we can buy. I want them to really get this vision going. So by 2024, everybody who's on the team now that wants to own a home will own a home by 2024.
I love that. That is insanely incredible.
Yes,
amazing.
I'm excited about it. And they're excited too. And I'm so glad because what we know about credit, others may not. And we don't want to take for granted. I know about all 3 credit bureaus, but other people may not know.
Right. Like what's a FICO score? I mean, some people might not know that.
Exactly. Do you have, how much do I have to put down? How does my credit, can I have blemishes? What is credit?
Right. I love that you're giving them financial education. I love that you're doing dream boarding. And what other things might you have on the list for things you might do in the future? Any ideas?
Oh, yeah. So,
I figured you would say yes. Yeah.
So in the future, some of our team members will become partners at Joyful. Joyful is a different type of center too. I didn't really talk about Joyful, but our whole vision and our mission is just a little different. Like how most people are part of a food program, we're not, because we only serve plant-based meals, and what we serve, the food program just they don't agree with it. We don't allow our families to pick whatever milk they want, those types of things.
Right.
And so our team members have they are our vision and mission, and so they understand it. It's like a marriage, I guess. It's like unity.
Yeah.
It's amazing because we get to talk about all this goodness about health, right? And so we do this, and then it goes into the households, and it goes to our team members, and everybody just stays well, like not sickly.
Wow.
I guess.
That's incredible. I mean, that helps your productivity and your health of your team, and it's self-care, and it's all of that wrapped up, plus their families, because if they're taking sicknesses home, then their family potentially is getting sick too. So
thank you.
That's
exactly. Awesome. We're trying to break those curses of everybody who may have illnesses like diabetes, heart disease, and all those things. So we educate our children, because a lot of adults, it's difficult for adults to change. It's Food and Drug Administration. Food is a drug. And so we try to educate our children, and then they take it home and talk to their families about it. And then we have our garden, which I'm so happy to see a lot of centers are growing gardens, and their children are getting involved in the process, which we love that. We love that because like here in Michigan, we just had a power outage. It's been since Monday. We were not without power. One of our centers was, but a lot of our families were without power. And so we always tell our families, so what are you going to do if you can't go to the grocery store? Or if all of the food is gone out of the refrigerator, it has spoiled, you have your gardens. You can still eat.
Yeah.
So that's what we teach our little ones. You can still eat, just grow a garden. You'll still be able to feed your family.
Right.
So
I love that. So that is one of your unique selling points, is that you have a children's garden. And then do you also have like the garden to table thing where you're preparing any of those in the kitchen?
Yes. So the children grow the garden. They plant the seeds, they grow the garden, and they harvest, they bring all the food in. And so when they bring it in, we clean it, whatever it is. We have spinach, broccoli, kale, collard greens. Either we'll prepare it, like cook it, or we'll put it in the Vitamix and make a smoothie.
Nice.
They get all of their nutrients that way, and what people need to understand, whatever state you're in, whatever the farmer's market has, eat that produce, because that's good for that region. You live in that region. That's going to help you through the seasons so you won't get sick. Some people will say, oh, we don't have, it's not, there are no strawberries. It may not be strawberry season. Don't eat them. Wait till the strawberries come again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
I
massive
love that.
campus.
And that's great advice about the farmers market. I love
Yes.
that. That's really, really good. I'm also getting more into fruits and veggies. I'm trying to eat less meat and
Yes.
especially not eating red meat and trying to be more focused on fruits and veggies in my diet. So love
Yes.
that, Tamara. Love it.
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you,
Um,
Chris, let me tell you, that wasn't how Joyful started. It was because our oldest daughter had some health issues when she was a little baby. And
okay.
I just did my research. And
Yeah.
then that is how we got into plant-based meals. And then so because I was doing it, I wanted that for our children at the center. And then we just converted their meals into plant-based meals. And I just
Right.
wanted to stress that Joyful was not always a plant-based.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, it's all good, you know. And the thing is, too, is that you have to like start with where you are
Yep,
and then
yep,
give yourself
exactly.
grace. And if you
Thank
improve, you
you.
know, a little bit, you've improved a
Yes,
little bit, you know, and
that's right.
celebrate that. Don't be, you know, feeling like you're a failure because you
That's
ate a
right.
cheeseburger. You know, it
That's
happens.
right. It was
So
a journey, an 11-year
yeah.
journey. So it's been
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. Cool. I love it. Let's talk a little bit about expansion. So
Yeah.
you are thinking about maybe expanding and doing some site selection, some research in your market.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about what you're up to right now with that.
So we found a few places. And so my husband is looking at another location that I just don't want to go to. But it's me coming out of my comfort zone. I don't
Uh-huh.
mind going into this area. It's in the city. I love Detroit. It's in the city, but it's a little further from where I would want to be in Detroit. But you know, we're going to go over there. We're going to go over there and find a space, and we want a capacity of at least 75.
Okay.
That's another me getting out of my comfort zone. I was
Hmm.
always like, I don't want any more than 60. So I'm 15 more.
Yep.
It's all good.
You can do
Um,
it.
yes, yes,
Yep.
I'm so excited. So we hope to find something before the year is out. We have really been looking. So, you know, in childcare, you have to find a place that has outdoor play space. It doesn't have
Yep.
to be on site. But it has to be within so many square feet from the center. And
Yep.
so that is what we're looking for. And we've been looking for places that have a large parking lot. We can convert it into a play space, or if there's a nearby park, then we can do that
Mhm.
too. But the problem has been finding a build. Most of these people who have these buildings now, they want to lease pieces of it. We need the entire building. They want to
Yep.
lease out suites, and so, but we
Mm.
need the whole building. If we don't find anything, I've had my eye on another property that we would have to tear down, demolish, and rebuild. So that's the second
Okay.
alternative, which both are good.
Okay.
Either find a
Yeah.
space or build from the ground up.
Right. Now, and talking about the funding for that, is this going to be funded through your business savings and or small business administration loans, or what are you thinking with that?
Probably SBA, because I
Yeah.
was told they have some really, really great interest rates.
Yes.
I'm not big on borrowing money, but I was in a Goldman Sachs program in 2018. It's
Okay.
called Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. It's really nice. Warren Buffett put up the money for this program. It was free. And at the time when I joined, the revenues had to be over 250. But since
Okay.
the pandemic, they've lowered it.
Uh-huh.
But it was a life-changing program. I think it was for about 16 weeks. It was for a full semester. It was wonderful.
Wow.
And during that time, the classes were on Fridays. And so they were like, you know what? Since you all come here on Fridays, you'll have Fridays off. And ever since then, I've had Fridays off.
Nice. That's fantastic. So
Isn't
part of
that
your
great for you?
flow is you have a 3-day weekend built in. So I love that.
Yes, yes. So what they always talked about was using other people's money.
Uh-huh.
And that was
OPM.
they just kept talking about that all
Yep.
throughout the whole program. And so I'm like, "Oh, maybe if we build from the ground up, we can just borrow money to do it.
Yeah. No, I
Not
love
savings.
love taking on smart debt for sure. So for those of
Right.
you listening, don't be afraid of it. make sure that you do your shopping and you know your P's and Q's and your shopping rates, and you've got maybe somebody who's a consultant locally that can help you identify all of those things if you're new to the game. But I love this Goldman Sachs, I'm assuming like a business incubator type program.
Was
Is what you
wonderful.
were in. Is it, do you know if
Wonderful.
it's still
Yes.
going?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's
They have them,
that's a
they're
resource for
everywhere.
folks.
It is
Nice.
it's wonderful. It's not only in Detroit, they have one in Boston. They have one, it's one all over. And so the goal was to have 10,000 small businesses in this program. It was just a wonderful program. They teach you about everything, accounting, people skills, managing, leadership, hiring. It was wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful.
All right. Thanks for that. That's great. I'm going to connect with that program and see if we can make a partnership there. I love that.
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
You would love it, Chris.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
And then if you have to go build from dirt, are you still using your same contractor friend that helped you in the very beginning?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He is
Nice.
76 years old now.
Oh my God.
He said if he sits down, he would die. So he just likes to keep going.
Wow.
He did our 3 sites in Oak Park, well, 4, and then he also did Roseville for us. He is amazing. He just works with the architect, and then he's just wonderful. He does an excellent job, and he brought in a whole team of an electrician, master plumber, who they've been with us since day one. So whenever we go to redo a building, a site, that is our crew. It is it's wonderful. It's so funny because his daughter came this last year to work with us, and she wanted to use the restroom, and she's like, the bathrooms don't look good because it's, construction stuff all over and
Yeah.
whatever. So I'm like, you know what? I said, that's why I really enjoy just having the men, because then we had to bring like toiletries and all these other things for her. It was just funny. But you know what? She kept the place looking nice, even through all the dust, the the drywall dust and all of that. Whenever I would go to the site, it wasn't complete, but it was clean. She did all that. She would pick up after everybody.
Yes, because those work sites can get really, really messy. The construction guys are not
Coke
good about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
Coke bottles, coffee cups, and
Yeah.
But I did love that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's nice. Talk about lessons that you've learned. What is something that you would do differently if you could go back in a time machine and change it?
Something I would do differently. I would have probably opened up more centers a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's not a regret. I spent time with my babies. It seems like every time I became pregnant, we opened up another extension of Joyful. So.
Right. An extension of you, an extension of the business.
Yes. But I think that we would have opened up, I would have opened up more sooner than later.
Right.
So that's probably something I would have done.
And I wanted to ask you, I forgot when you were talking about homeschooling, for those that are interested in that, do you use a curriculum or did you just do your own thing?
We did our own thing.
Okay.
But we were a part of a co-op. Michigan is one of the largest homeschool states, and we don't have a lot of red tape. So if you want to homeschool your child, you just write a letter to the school, or you just don't take your child to school.
Right.
Michigan is very relaxed on homeschooling.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing here. And there are a lot of really nice co-ops. In fact, I taught at some of them. I taught babysitting classes. Go figure, right?
Cute.
It was really nice. And so, but yes, homeschooling is wonderful. Wonderful.
Nice. Yeah.
It's
It's
it used to be
a huge, it's probably 3 or 4 times the size of people doing it through the pandemic and still doing it than it was pre-pandemic. So I haven't looked at the stats, but I know it's big.
Yes. It's not like, you just sit at home, you're out and about, and then, they have the car lines.
Yeah.
Picking up in the car line. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's just smaller class sizes, outside the box type classes. Like if it's a math class, it'll be the bakery, and the children will actually come up with the plan to build a bakery, but it's a math class.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about measurements and they're adding and all that stuff. So it's a lot different than I guess, school. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like it's more practical learning, experiential learning,
Yes.
project-based learning for sure. All that stuff is really, really good.
Yes. Beautiful.
The classic question of the podcast, how do you define a childcare rock star?
Okay, I was thinking about that. So, a child care rock star, in my opinion, is someone who has worked in a home or a center, okay, on the floor with the children. They've done administrative work. They're leaders inside of their space, the center or the home. They promote others, encourage others. They have an awesome training program. They have a wonderful team around them, whether that's two people, one, whatever, or a lot of people around them. But it's someone who has been, I guess, in the trenches. You changed diapers before, you've gotten on the floor with the toddlers. They didn't take you out. You lived, you survived. You've been in the planning with the graduation ceremonies. You have helped parents and families with resources. The families can call on you. That's a childcare rock star to me. Operations, but also you've been in the center, so you know what it's like. Even if you're not in there anymore, but you've been there, so you can relate to your entire team, and you can also relate to your parents too, even if you didn't biologically, physically have a child. You've adopted children, you've taken care of children in some type of way, even in your community. Having a giving heart, having compassion, and knowing that, stop taking things seriously, right? So just being able to brush things off, right? And just keep it moving.
Yeah.
So that's a rock star to me.
Nice. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Everybody you selected has been a childcare rock star. I mean, in my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Just getting in there and doing the work in the trenches and caring for kids. I love it.
Yes.
Would you mind sharing your website address in case listeners want to learn more about you?
Yes. It is joyfultots.com.
Okay. Joyfultots.com. Very good.
Yes. And it is a website that was developed by Grow Your Center.
Okay.
It is beautiful. We love it. Our sales have gone up tremendously. Chris, you know how you say, if you have a waiting list, you're not charging enough.
Right.
And we're charging a lot. And that website, it just continues to bring people. We're still
Yes.
on a waiting list.
It's the key. It's the number one asset of any business, especially a childcare business, to have a beautiful world-class website, because it will constantly work for you in the background while you're sleeping.
Yes.
That's what it's doing.
It's beautiful.
Yay. I can't wait to go and check it out again. I did help write the copy, but then it got launched. I did. And then I haven't been back to joyfultots.com in a while. So I'm going to go check it out. Thanks for the plug for Grow Your Center, by the way. And I'm just so grateful that you are having all of this success and that you're in our program and you're using all the things. It sounds like you are on wait list for all of your programs.
Yes.
Even though you are at top of market in pricing.
Yes,
so
for all of them.
Yeah.
For all of them. It is wonderful.
Hi, honey. How are you? We have a guest on the podcast. What's your name? What's her name?
That's Marley. That's our youngest. That's the 5-year-old.
Marley's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. That is my sweetheart. But yes, we are. It's a long waiting list, and we are almost getting ready to charge the $4.95 a week.
Okay. Wow.
Maybe we'll have less on the waiting list, but it just really, I'm telling you, the website, the knowledge, our team, because now I'm an Empire member. So, we have the team on there too.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful. I'm telling you, it's just wonderful. Everything that you've done, Chris, has been amazing. And I just thank you.
Aww.
Really. I think that I know that you've opened the door for a lot of others. And I do see other people, doing coaching now and everything. And really, to just get out there and do it and be brave and Like, I'm just going to put it out here. That's not easy. That's not easy.
It's not easy. And thank you so much for saying that. It's been a lot of work, but it's also been my life's work and my life stream to make an impact for beautiful people such as yourself. So it's very rewarding. And you're right. I basically started the road 12 years ago, 13 years ago with coaching in the childcare field. And there's a lot of people coming up underneath us, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes being a big target is scary.
I know, but you
But
got
it's
you
okay.
got a lot of love. It's a lot of people
A lot of
behind
love.
you that just love you and are supporting you.
I appreciate that so much. You don't even know how
Yes.
much. Well, that's all I wanted to ask you today. Any final thoughts to share with our audience before we close?
For those who are, if you're in your home and you've been running a in-home childcare, you want to branch out and go to a commercial space. Start out small if you want to. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do 100 capacity. I would tell you, those who started off in the home do 10 times better. You wouldn't believe, you would think, I don't know what I'm doing, but you do, because you're doing it.
Right.
You're doing it.
Yeah. You know what to do and what not to do in terms of classroom management, because you're doing it. So all you have to do is now kind of put your business hat on and add that into the mix.
And grow your team. That's the beauty. That's the most beautiful thing, because when we left the home, we were able to really grow our team. And also, when you're looking for a space, always check with your city first and then the fire inspector. The state, you can look at the handbook. That's there. But the state and the fire inspector, the city and the fire inspector, look at those first. But I just get out there, just do it. There are 30,000 children in Detroit without childcare. Yeah, and that's just in Detroit. We have a lot of providers who retired. Some people got out of the business, and so this is the time to just grow, expand, grow and expand.
There's basically unmet demand in almost every city and every town in the United States, and then many countries outside of it. So, right now is the best time to go get into the business, because you basically have a built-in clientele, no matter where you go.
The one more thing about even the academy, you all promote high quality care. That's another thing too. So I have a high quality center. Everybody is in the business to make money, but having a high quality center, you're just doing so much better for our future, our babies in the future. Really, it's a beautiful thing.
And you can do it. There's so many examples on this podcast, and Tamara, you're one of the best examples that I know. So I wanted to for sure bring you here today, because high quality doesn't have to mean, that it's necessarily harder or much more intensive, or, it's just lay out your high quality vision and then drive everybody to that, and it'll flow.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Good. Well, thank you so much for being here. Welcome. It's been great.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This was so nice.
Yay. It was nice. And I love hanging out with you. I'm going to send some cash to Michael Ingram for connecting you and me. And I'm very grateful for that, because I just love that and love having you in our group. And Detroit is lucky to have you and your family and your team. So
thank you.
Go joyful. And go Ology. Ology is a fun brand. I love that too.
Yes.
All right. Tamara Jefferson, thank you so much for being here on Childcare Rockstar Radio. Take care, everybody. God bless. And we will talk to you next time.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I hope you liked this episode of Childcare Rockstar Radio. If you did, please share it with someone you know and help spread the word to your friends in our industry and on social media. Childcare business success is my passion, and I'm honored to be on this journey with you. As a thank you for listening, learn more about how to grow your business and make more income with our brand new free quiz, the What's My Number One Income Killer quiz, exclusively for preschool and childcare owners. Take the quiz today at childcarequiz.com to discover what your number one income killer is and how to solve it. Take care and God bless.